Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Athenian Maker. My name is Zaida, and I'm coming to you from Athens, Greece, where I live with my dog Rexy. Rexy, πες γεια αγάπη, πες γεια. Yes, he's very sweet, but he's also very noisy, so I hope that he doesn't see a cat in the garden or whatever, or hear the neighbors, because you'll see what I mean. I hope it doesn't. So this is a podcast about making in general. I love traditional crafts, and my goal is to learn as many and practice as many of them as possible. And mainly what you will see here is sewing, knitting, eco-printing, botanical dyeing, and weaving, which are actually almost all the crafts I know. I say almost because I also did 2 years of shoemaking, but I don't practice that anymore. I don't practice that from home. So let's start. To begin with, I would like to mention what I am wearing. This is the magnolia, the floating magnolia sweater by Tina C Knits. She's Tina C Knits on Instagram. And Tina released this pattern last year, and I was one of the testers. I really love, let me show you a little bit more. So it has a fantastic construction, and although it might seem a little bit difficult or intimidating, but it is not. It is the pattern is written very well and in a very smart way, and after a while you just get in the rhythm, and it's not difficult at all to achieve the result. It is made with slip stitches and one by one cables. It's very easy. I have made a mistake here. There should not have been this line, but okay. I found out about it when I was about here at this point, and I decided that I don't mind, and maybe it looks like a design feature. I hope so. And so for this pattern, I knitted it with cotton yarn because it is a summer sweater. The white color is that I used here also, and it is throughout the sweater. The white color is a commercial one that I really don't know which exactly brand it is, but it was from my mother's stash. And the blue, it is from an indie dyer located in the Netherlands. This one is the yarn that I used, and the brand name is this is very difficult, the Dradzak, I think so. Oh, it is mirrored here, you cannot see it, so I think it is the Dradzak. I'll try and put a link on the notes below. This is another yarn from the same dyer. It's also cotton. It's a very beautiful yarn, and despite being cotton, it was very nice knitting with it. I know that many people have difficulties knitting with plant-based fibers, with cottons and linens, but I really don't. I don't have the same problem. I just will knit with whatever I want my project to be with, and of course wool is much more easy. as it has elasticity and it is very easy on the hands. But anyway, this is just a beautiful sweater, and I love wearing it now that the weather has got hot here in Athens. So next, let's talk about works in progress. So I have only one work in progress to show you. I have it here in my basket. These are the pieceable. These are. Ηρέμησε αγάπη. Ηρέμησε. Ηρέμησε. Όχι. Όχι. These are the pieceable meats. By one moment, because by Erika Heuser. I have my notes here. By Erika Heuser. So this is an elephant. I'm very glad that here you can see the elephant, because it depends on the light. Όχι είπαμε. Τέλος. 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 Κιχ να μην ακούσω. Κιχ. Κιχ. Όχι. Όχι. So there are neighbors now in the entrance, and he, you see what I mean. He's a little bit noisy, but it's okay. It's controlled for now. It could be worse. So I really, okay, I'm glad that you can see the elephant, because it depends on the light. It's not always visible. So when I first finished the first meat, I was very disappointed because I could not, the elephant was not very distinguished. It's not blocked yet. So it's a fantastic pattern. I have knitted also the moth, the butterfly, the pattern with the butterfly from Erika Heuser, and I have also the one with the owl. I love her I love knitting meats in general, and I love her patterns. And on the second one, I have just separated I have separated the thumb, and I have I think 2 or 3 more rows of color work, and then the ribbing, and this is finished. So the yarn that I'm using for this, I have dyed it. So this one, I've dyed it with marigolds and chamomile. Do you say it like this, chamomile? And the blue one, it's just a little bit, but it's enough, because there are only 2 or 3 rows. And the blue one is dyed with indigo. I love this color, the blue one. The other one is nice too. So I think that I will finish this today. I'm sure that I'm going to finish this today. The first one, I finished it very fast. I knitted it in 3 days, and but with the second one, I don't know, it got a little bit boring. And I was just forcing myself to knit 2 or 3 rows every day, so it took about it took more than a week, almost 2 weeks to come to this point. So this is the only work in progress that I have right now. I'm in general monogamous maker. I will have one project, like one sweater on the go, and maybe one pair of socks and or mitts. And with my sewing too, I will have one project and I will start to finish it, and then after finishing, I will start thinking about making another one. So now let's talk about finished objects. I will remain to knitting. This one, I think that I finished this about 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure. It is a vest. It is knitted with this yarn that I dyed with onion skins and madder, and there are some white spots created by knots that were not dyed. This is why there is this result here. So what I forget to say is that this yarn and the yellow one also from my mitts, it's a Shetland Wensleydale blend in fingering weight, and the blue one is a pure Shetland wool. They're a similar, the Shetland has more meterage than the Shetland Wensleydale, but they go very well together. So for this one, I didn't use a pattern. I made the pattern myself. I have been inspired so much from my mother. She is an avid knitter. She knitted all her life, and she never used patterns. She always made things up on herself. She would see on the television a sweater, and she will make something that looks like it, that has the same vibe. And so when I started knitting, although my first knitting project was a sweater from a pattern, it was a Stasis pullover. After that, I wanted to learn to do that on my own, to not depend so much on patterns, but to be able to have an idea and to do whatever I would like to do. So I started exploring and learned a lot from YouTube, from other makers that shared their knowledge, and also took some online classes. And so now I can easily make a bottom-up sweater on my own. I have created a formula that I have written it down, and whenever I want to do something like this, then I can use that formula, and that is what I used here. So this is knitted on the round from the bottom up, and you just knit on the round until you get to the arm cycle, to the arm here, and then I had to separate for the front and the back, and this is the back. And it is very easy, it is nothing special, just stockinette, and I let the yarn be the protagonist on this one, and I just added this blue detail on the neckline. So that's it, really easy to make. And I also have a finished sewing project, but I cannot really show it to you because it is a test for Jennifer Lauren handmade. This is the knit folk dress. It is a 40s inspired pattern. Jennifer Lauren, if you don't know her, she is a pattern maker that gets her inspiration from vintage clothes. I will just show you the fabric because I cannot show, the pattern has not been released yet. So this is a cotton lawn from a Liberty cotton lawn, and I had this on my stash for quite a few years. I think almost 7 years it was in my stash, and I was waiting to make it for something special. And this project seemed to be just right for it. And in the end, I just messed it up. I don't know how I did it, but when I was cutting the fabric, I didn't think for a moment to check the direction of the print, because this print has a direction. It should be like this. If you can see the trees there, and there are mountains. But I printed everything upside down, and I'm so bummed about it because I don't know, I really love this fabric, and I wanted to do things right, but what can I do? I really did everything very carefully, and the insides of the dress are very nice. I used bias binding to finish the inside. Everything is finished nicely, and I had to make this mistake. I don't know. Oh, I cannot show it. I forgot. Okay, so this is it. And now that I see my weaving project, I forgot to mention that on my works in progress. So this one is a year-old work in progress. I started this more than a year ago, I think, more than a year. If I check my Instagram, it should be more than a year ago. And at some point, I just got bored and stopped. And in general, for many months, I lost my making mojo, and I was not inspired to make anything but knitting, because I don't know, with knitting I find it so until now I have not lost my knitting mojo at all. I find it so easy. Even when I am bored, I can stay in the couch and watch something on the TV and knit. But with everything else that needs a little bit of thought and effort, many times I lose my mojo, my mood of doing anything. So this one is everything is cotton, and the idea behind it is to make a panel that I will use as the back of a jacket. And I wanted at first to weave a bird here in the middle. These are the colors that will be used throughout. These that you see here, the burnt, the orange red, the brick red maybe, yellow, and this very light pink. The colors show very nice in the camera, exactly like they are. So, but right now, and I'm showing it here, maybe it just forces me to start again. And okay, I use the word force, that it sounds very strong and not positive, but sometimes I need to do that because I'm really am a project maker. I want the final result, and sometimes I might not enjoy the process, but I'm going to do it anyway so that I can have the final product. And now for this one, I'm showing it here, so maybe I get motivated to start weaving on it and finishing it. And so right now I'm thinking that I will not weave the bird. I will because I have the design of it, and but it is a little bit more complicated, and so I'm just going to weave on shapes as I go, and I will weave whatever I'm inspired at the moment, and I will play with these two colors and see what Όχι, 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 όχι. So there was a cat passing on the garden. Όχι, όχι Ρεξί. Θα πας μέσα. Τέλος. Μέσα θα πας. And so let's see how this goes. Now about plans in the future, actually very recent future. So sewing wise, I'm going to, I would like to make a blouse with this fabric, which is this is the right side. So it's a very nice cotton fabric. It has a good drape, and it has these little flowers. I think they are tulips, I'm not sure. And the pattern I want to make it is the Reina shirt from Pauline Alice. Okay, if you can see here the schematics. For some reason it has only the back, but anyway. This is it. And I have made this once before, and I usually don't make the same pattern again. I do that in rare occasions. But I like this design. It's a very airy blouse, and right now I want to make something easy, and this is already cut on my size, so I want to go and start an easy project. So this is going to be cut soon. And I am also, what I would like to make in the near future is I have this pattern, battering 5550, and I would like, it's a vintage pattern, and I would like to make the shorts. I have not seen in my stash yet which fabric to use or whatever, but it's just that I would like to make this. And another vintage pattern that I would like to make is this one. It is Vogue 9187. And I would like to make this version here, first one. So these are my sewing plans. Let's go to knitting. Now for knitting, I finished my vest about 2 weeks ago, and I have not started any other sweater, but I want to make one, and I'm going to use the top-down sweater book from Unbad, and use the construction for the raglan sweater on her method. So I have made a copy of this sweater, of the techniques from this sweater, because I want to make notes on it, and I don't like making notes on the books. And so I'm ready to start. I just have to prepare the yarn. I'm going to make a stripy sweater, and the idea is also to incorporate some slip stitches on it. So I'm going to use this one, that it's Shetland Wensleydale, and the color is exactly like it is. It's very strange. In photographs I have always problem to to show the correct colors, but now on this video everything shows right. So this one I dyed with Mimosa. This one I don't remember. It might be with pepper tree. I think so. This is with pepper tree. These are both a Shetland Wensleydale. This is Shetland dyed with indigo, and this one is dyed with madder. This does not show well. It is like here, like yes, this is the correct color. Σταμάτα. Τέλος, θα πας μέσα. Κοίχ να μην ακούσω. Κοίχ. Τέλος. Τι σου λέω, σε ποιον μιλάω τόση ώρα. Τέλος. Όχι. Θα πας μέσα. Τέλος. Κάτσε κάτω. So, and this was the red, I'm sorry for that. And this one is dyed with, έλα βρε Ρέξη, σταμάτα. Όχι. This one is dyed with, what's the name of the tree? With plum, yes, with plum tree leaves. The leaves were red and the water was so red, it was like a burgundy red, but the color that the yarn got was this green. It was very funny because I was very excited when I saw the color of the water, and I thought that I will get red, but no. This is what happens with botanical dyeing. You never get what you expect when you try new materials. So, but now I know. I've learned this one. So these are all the yarns that I'm going to use. Yes. And hopefully I will start this the next days. So this is it, the end of the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to push the like button and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And also I would love to hear from you. So if you would like to share where are you watching from, and if you would like to say hello on the comments and mention where are you watching from, that would be great. So thank you very much for taking the time and watching this first episode, and look forward to the next one. Bye.